Hey, what's going on, folks? Clown World's in full effect. Apparently, they're going to arrest Donald Trump today, on Tuesday, and charge him with 34 felony counts, yet they probably won't put him in handcuffs, place him in jail, or subject him to a mugshot. The streets are filled in New York City. One of Trump's advisors, Jason Miller, is bragging on Twitter that Trump has raised more money in the last 4 or 5 days than he has since he left office. Left-wing media is getting record fundraising, and the right-wing influencer pipeline from Pray for Trump to selling free Trump t-shirts or capitalizing off this event is going to be apparent soon. So today I wanted to have fun with it and do a top 5 best grifts of the week to highlight some of our most prominent opportunists who are cashing in on the cash cow that is the drama around Donald Trump. The left wing will say he's guilty, the right wing will say he's innocent, but to me it just seems like yet another controlled theater event to stop people from looking at the petrodollar, the foreign wars, the bipartisan lockdowns, the bipartisan money printing, the traveling vaccine mandate that's still in place in America, the food supply, and many other root level issues that never get addressed because we live in a Kardashian style culture that just wants entertainment. So who am I to judge? Bring it on. My top 5 list coming soon. Welcome to the Dream Rare Podcast, Tom and Jerry edition.
It's the Dream Rare Podcast, welcome to the show. The way to get the news at the desk or on the road, let's go. God is great and success in our control. The world is crazy but we get better from obstacles.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of the Dream Rare Podcast. This is a Clown World... Oh no, where did I go? Sorry, my bad. Clown World edition. I see this kind of as a WWE spectacle. The left is going to get a lot of clicks. Right-wing media is going to get a lot of clicks. Trump's getting a lot of fundraising. Democrats are getting a lot of fundraising. And nobody's talking about the petrodollar. Some of our allies leaving us, like Japan and Saudi Arabia, semi-turning their backs on us. Obviously, the bipartisan lockdowns, the vaccine scandals going on. It seems like a giant distraction, but who am I to judge and who am I to complain? Instead, I wanted to play into it and do a top 5 Clown World Awards of the week for our most famous and successful opportunists. I call it Tom and Jerry a lot. People know here where it's like they're always fake chasing each other and they never get there because it's just like part of a cartoon. I thought of another cartoon analogy. I guess I'm just a cartoonish guy. I apologize. Maybe I should grow up. But, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Hey Arnold, but there's that Helga Pataki character. She's like a nasty girl, for those who don't know. A very nasty woman, okay? Yeah, Helga Pataki is like a mean girl, but she secretly loves Arnold, and she's always being so mean to Arnold in the show, but she really loves him, you know? And she, like, when she's at home, she's always hugging it like, oh, Arnold, I can't live without you. To me, that feels like left-wing politicians and media with Donald Trump. In your face, they're like, oh, we hate Donald Trump. We want him to get arrested. We need Donald Trump to go away. But like whenever the lights turn off and like CNN and Democrat politicians are in their home, they're like Helga Pataki. They're like, oh, Donald Trump, I love you. Without you, I have nothing, no purpose, nothing. How can I make money without you? So it's hard for me to feel like he's, in my view, this massive threat to them because their entire ecosystem thrives off his existence. I don't think they have anything without them. They're like the Helga Pataki and he's Hey Arnold. So according to Yahoo News, Donald Trump will be placed under arrest Tuesday and has been informed that he will be charged with 34 felony accounts. Wow, 34? For falsification of business records, according to a source who has been briefed on the procedures for the arraignment of the former president. But the source said Trump will not be put in handcuffs, placed in a jail cell, or subjected to a mugshot. So 34 counts, but he's not going to have a mugshot or go to jail. It sounds like, in my view, before I get to my top 5 Clown World of the week, it sounds like right-wing influencers are going to be really upset because I feel like that mugshot was going to make hundreds of millions of dollars of merch. Maybe they'll just do a fake one. I don't know. But I was joking and I said there's going to be a pipeline from the accounts that said pray for Trump to selling like mugshots of Trump on it. That pipeline is going to be almost 100% accuracy. A week ago, pray for Trump, I'm on my knees. It's like, guys, if you need something, just watch WWE. It's fine. But, you know, it's like last week it was pray for Trump and just watch that pipeline turn into like Trump merchandise. They're just going to be selling the crap out of their merch. So instead of hating on it, I'm just going to join. I'm just going to let people know freedom over tyranny shirts, God bless beanies, available at dreamrare.com. Everybody's going to make money this week. So instead of just lying to you and pretending like I care so much, might as well join the club. All right, let's get to the top 5 Clown World grifts of the week. Shout out to Hotep Nation. They do the Grifty Awards every year. It's pretty funny. I just wanted to do the funniest 5 I saw of the week. First one is Jason Miller. It's Trump's senior advisor. I went to his Twitter feed, and his entire Twitter feed is just him bragging about how much money Trump's making. And I'm just thinking to myself, aren't you supposed to pretend like this is a serious legal issue? I can joke about it, but aren't you supposed to at least try to convince? I guess they don't need to convince people. They know that millions of people are going to act like this is so terrible. Oh my gosh. Oh, but Trump's own campaign manager, he's literally I'm going to read a few of his tweets. He's nonstop just being President Donald Trump raised another $1.1 million today. This means that through the day, 4 days after the Manhattan DA entered the latest phase of their witch hunt, President Trump has raised over $8 million, and he retweeted 2 people. Shelby Talcott said, senior Trump advisor Jason Miller says the campaign has raised over $4 million since the indictment was announced 4 days ago. He liked that one. Josh Dawsey said, Trump's spokesman said that Trump raised more than $8 million since Thursday, his best fundraising stretch since leaving office. So Jason Miller's we're rolling in the money. Why even pretend like we're doing something else? So Trump, Jason Miller is the grift of the week. His whole feed is just Trump grows stronger in the eyes of GOP. Trump sees huge poll gains. He's not even pretending like he's remotely upset. It's just money, money, money. We're cashing out, guys. Yeah. Yeah, Trump's getting arrested, MAGA patriots. Just keep funneling money. We've raised more money in the last 4 days than we have since he's got out of office. Of course you have. And he's rising in the polls. Yeah. What a terrible thing to happen to him. He's just making more money and rising in the polls. Sounds terrible. Sounds like he really, yeah. This is a shout out to, I've actually met this lady in person, I believe, but she said, her name on Twitter was Cheese Slave 2. She said, you will be kissing Trump's feet when all of this is over. Save this tweet. She got upset with me. I have a few things to say. First of all, Cheese Slave 2. You're a slave to cheese? Like dairy cheese? I don't know. It's just it's a weird, I've had weird screen names in the past when I was a kid and stuff. I guess I still have weird screen names, but Cheese Slave? Maybe you should be a slave to Christ or, discipline, but to cheese? It sounds like I'm not the problem here. Cheese Slave. I'm a slave to cheese and Donald Trump. You'll regret this anomaly. You'll be kissing his feet. I'm a slave to cheese. Oh, I can't stop eating. I can't stop eating mozzarella. Okay. I think I've actually met this lady at an event. She's really nice, but she's obsessed with Trump. All I did was share the fact that Jason Miller was retweeting how much money he's making. I was just Trump's senior advisor is bragging about how much money they're making. She's like, you'll be kissing his feet when this is over. I'm Cheese Slave too. I love mozzarella. I love jack cheese. I love American. Heck, you throw a piece of cheese at me, I'll eat it. You roll a cheese down a hill, I'll catch it with my mouth. It's okay, Cheese Slave. I get it. You hate me. You hate me because I posted something you didn't want to see or something. And then I went to her Twitter and she's got this fairy tale video pinned to the top where it's Trump's face is photoshopped on a long neck dinosaur or something. It's I don't even remember the names. What's the one with the long neck? Does anybody remember the dinosaur? I don't even believe it's real, but whatever. It's Trump's face is photoshopped in it, and it's la la, and then she's making Trump merch, and there's fantasy fairy tale. I'm sorry, lady. I'm just trying to do my job. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. I literally just tweeted a Brontosaurus. That's what it's called. Exactly. Yeah. I just tweeted. I was Jason Miller, Trump's senior advisor, is bragging that they've made more money in the last 4 days. And his entire feed is just him saying, we're ahead in the polls. We're rising. We're rising. We're rising. Aren't you supposed to pretend like you're upset? They're not even, they know that people will just throw money at them. They're like, we don't even have to pretend like this is really that bad. I'm just going to brag. And then Cheese Slave's going to yell at me. Whatever. All right. So Jason Miller, congratulations. You're the first award. You know, before I move on, I wanted to say this too. This always confused me because I thought Jason Miller and Donald Trump were at odds, but apparently, like everybody they're at odds with, maybe that's fake too. Because Jason Miller made Getter, and Getter came out, if you guys remember, like 2 years ago, because before Elon bought Twitter, they were doing even more censorship, and Facebook. We really had nowhere to go, and Twitter kicked off Donald Trump, and everybody knows Trump loves Twitter. It's like his favorite platform. He was great at it. So when they kicked him off, it was like, okay, we got to create a conservative version of Twitter. So Jason Miller, and we thought at the beginning, we thought Trump was in on it because, like, why would you create two different ones that are the exact same thing? You know, Getter came out, and it was like, oh, Getter's the new Trump platform, right? And so we all started downloading Getter, and it's like, okay, we need a Twitter that won't censor us and kick us off. And then a couple months, Jason Miller owns Getter. After Jason Miller came out with Getter, like 4 or 5, 6 months later, whatever, Donald Trump comes out with True Social and then does a launch, and then it doesn't even like let you download the app. My question is, like, if they're getting along, like he's still his senior advisors, why would you create two different fake like Twitters at the same time? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like it's TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. They're both like just versions of Twitter. So now they split the conservative base into like two things. And me personally, I don't use Truth or Getter because I'm just exhausted. I'm like, I can't tweet 3-5 times. Like, pick one. Why did Jason, that's just my question, sorry. Why did Jason Miller create Getter? And then why did Donald Trump create True Social? And why did everybody tell us that Getter was Trump's? And then when it rolled out, everyone's like, wait, no, it's not Trump's. He's mad at Jason. It's like, what the hell's going on? And then this guy's just bragging on his Twitter about campaign fundraising. I don't know. Confusing to me, but to each their own. The second award for Clown Award of the Week, or Clown, what is it? Clown World Grift of the Week. I'll give it to left-wing media and left-wing politicians. I know this isn't fair. I'm just grouping them all in because I just pretty much ignore them. But this is CNN, MSNBC, pretty much anybody you consider left-wing, Rachel Maddow, all of these losers, you know, left-wing politicians. They've been for years trying to be like, oh, we're going to catch Donald Trump. And the fact that they actually did charge him with something, you could say what you want, but you know, the right wing promised to do that when they were in office. It's like, hey, we're gonna arrest Hillary Clinton, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I'll vote. Yeah, I mean, she should go to jail. And then like they get in, and everyone's like, lock her up, and they're like, no, patriots, that was just a lie. That I was just telling you I was gonna arrest Hillary, but really I'm just gonna lock down the country and sell vaccines. But like, yeah, but come to the cap. It's like, you know, the left wing actually semi came through for their base. I'm not saying this is going to do anything. It's only helping Trump. But it's like they told people that they were going to charge Trump for 7 years, and they actually did, or they're going to try. So, you know, they're the grift of the week. They get a lot of money off this. They're going to fundraise. See, if you vote for us, we'll let you abort your kids. Or I don't even know what the left's doing. But you know that CNN is probably making more money this week than they've made in a while. You know, when the January 6th thing happened, CNN broke record ratings. Like, they got more ratings off of January 6th coverage than they've ever gotten ever. They could say what they want, but left-wing media love stuff like this. They love a good Charlottesville. They love a good January 6th. They hate it, but they're Helga from, what is it? Hey, Arnold? Oh, I hate Donald Trump. I hate January 6th. Secretly, I love it. I need to fundraise off it. I make so much money off it. Ooh, watch us. We'll make a... They love this stuff. You know, they love a good cash grab. So left-wing media, left-wing politicians, they're going to roll around like a pig in mud for the next year over this. And we can ignore every failure that Joe Biden's done, every stupid thing they've done. I guess if you watch left-wing media, you don't even realize like your whole city's going to shit. I don't like that part escapes me. You know, I obviously dunk on Republicans a lot because liberals bore me. But when it comes to like Democrats, like, do you not realize like San Francisco is turning into like a pile of shit? Excuse my language. And I'm not trying to be rude. I know there's a lot of great people in San Francisco and a lot of great stuff, but like, have you noticed your city is falling apart? Have you noticed Los Angeles is a shell of what it was? Have you noticed that the COVID lockdowns, because Democrats are psychotic and they extended it for like 2 years? Do you notice like New York's going to shit kinda, or no? Do you guys like just tune into like the Trump tube and you don't even notice your own cities like falling apart. I don't understand it, but I got to give my second award to left-wing media and politicians and Democrats. Their propaganda is so severe that people don't even notice their cities going to shit. They're going to be like, orgasming in their like little $5,000 apartment for like 3 square feet in New York while someone craps outside on their doorstep or their brownstone, and they're thrilled. I mean, their life is terrible, but they're going to live vicariously through this fake arrest and, they're loving it. So another question I have is I was wondering, because when you go to like left-wing areas that aren't totally destroyed, or even the ones that are destroyed, there's some things they do good. They're like into like healthy food, and they got garlic aioli sauce, and they got like interesting like macadamia nut lattes, and I don't hate everything liberal. They do a few things right. But my question is this: are liberals like permanently damaged? And I'm not trying to be rude. If there's any liberals watching, maybe you could tell me or talk to your friends. Like, is the damage permanent with the whole like we're healthy, but we totally fall for big pharma propaganda? Like, we're into macadamia nut oat milk lattes or whatever, but we don't understand that lockdowns aren't healthy because we hate Republicans so much that now lockdowns are secretly a good thing to fight the virus. It's like, are you guys going to be stuck this way forever? Like, what's going on? In 2014, you guys were kind of chill. We could go to rock concerts. We could dance, what I'm saying, to My Chemical Romance. Like, how long are you guys going to drag this stuff out? It's really embarrassing. Like, you're so health conscious, yet you don't realize why lockdowns and vaccine mandates are bad. You're health conscious, but you're completely captured by big pharma. I have higher hopes for left-wingers. Like, are you guys going to snap out of this, or do I just have to ignore you? And for those who think I just hate Trump and hate Republicans so much, I actually don't. I'm just bored. I'm bored with liberals. They're boring to me. They're like, hey, man. It's like, I get it. I like macadamia nut lattes too, as long as they don't have canola oil in them. But, like, grow up. I don't have time to even make fun of them because they're so boring to me. It's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Do some push-ups. Be a man. They're like, I am a man. I transitioned to one last Friday. I did what you said, Anomaly. I was born a woman. Now I'm a man. I'm like, that's not what I meant. But it's out of my hands at this point. I'm just wondering if they're ever going to wake up, because I'm like, there were things you did better. It's not like Republicans did everything better. There were things that liberals were better at. Now it's just like, we love health. We're just not healthy. We're really into healthy foods. I mean, we're gonna have we're gonna have 100% grass-fed beef, but then we're gonna put obese models on television and just not even realize why promoting obesity is probably not a good idea. It's like, what's the point of eating healthy food if you're completely captured by big pharma? Grow up. So the second award, I could complain about them all day, but I'm already bored of it. Left-wing media and politicians, you're the clown world grift of the week. For 30 different reasons. Enjoy your cash cow that is Donald Trump. The third one is a right-wing media. I'm just going to like... I'm just grouping all right-wing media together because I don't know what else to do. They're going to make an absolute fortune off this stuff. I want to show this because this conservativebrief.com, it really cracks me up because I always see like Dinesh D'Souza and other people... I'm just going to give them promotion, but they're always doing these type of headlines here. I'll hold it up. This is Vernon Jones. He said, Bragg is about to face the music. Should he be investigated for prosecutorial misconduct? And it says, conservative brief. DA Alvin Bragg could face 1 to 5 years in prison for E-class felony. Like, I just see Dinesh D'Souza every day. Either he owns a piece of the company or he's probably getting paid by them. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm giving them free promo. I'm just saying... the headlines crack me up. Like every day on like Dinesh's feed, it's like, Adam Schiff's going to jail, guys. Click this link. Adam Schiff's going to prison. It's like, guy, Donald Trump was president for 4 years. He said he was going to lock Hillary Clinton up. And then when he got in office and people were like, lock her up, Trump's like, no, I was just saying that. Shut up, Patriots. Come on. It's like, I'm over this whole like, oh, we're right around the corner, Patriots. They're going to jail. So now like the whole right-wing grift is like, oh, Alvin Bragg's gonna go to prison now. It's like, yeah, and let me close my eyes. Yeah, Fauci's going to prison, and like everybody I hate's going to prison.com. Maybe I should get that domain. Like, yeah, in a nice world, people would get held accountable, but I'm just cracking up at some of these like some of these right-wing posts where they're like, pray for Trump, pray for Trump. Okay, buy my Trump merch. Oh my God, free Trump. It's like, yeah, it's a cash cow. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is an absolute money magnet for the left wing, for the right wing, for himself, for his campaign. It's just a money magnet. So the third Clown World grift of the week, I have other stuff I want to go through. It's just right-wing media. The pray for Trump to selling Trump merch pipeline is really right there. The fourth one I want to do is Don Jr. I like Don Jr. I would vote for Don Jr. over Don Sr. I actually trust Don Jr. more, but I just want to show you this and a few other things. He posted this and it says, my father, President Trump, I don't know, it's a little blurry, so I'll just read it. It's my father, President Trump, is expected to be arraigned at 2:15 today. It's coming soon. Sign the petition to defend the Constitution and stop political persecution of President Trump and other political persecutions this opens the door for in the future. Enough. So he's like, sign this petition. And I'm thinking to myself, what's a petition going to do? But then I go to the website. It's like ACLJ, I don't know, some sort of law. I mean, maybe they do good work. I don't know. But I click on the link and it's like, give me your name, sign the petition, give me your email. And I'm like, oh, it's an email collection. It's like, oh, are you pissed off, Patriots? Click this link and give me your email so I could spam you for the next 5 years every single day to raise money. It's like, I get it. It's genius. Like, sign this petition that's going to do nothing so I could get your email. Maybe I should start doing that. I'm not even mad at it marketing-wise. It's a great way to collect emails and just spam the crap out of people. With that being said, too, I saw recently and once again, I don't want to blame Don Jr. for Don Sr. because it's not fair. But, I saw him on Timcast, and he basically said that he thinks that Julian Assange should be pardoned. He's like, you know what? I do think Julian Assange should be pardoned. I used to not, but seeing what happened, I do think he should get a pardon. And it's like, imagine if we had a right-wing outsider president who could have pardoned Julian Assange. Oh, wait, we did have one. His name was Donald Trump Sr. And Donald Trump Sr., when he ran for president, was like, WikiLeaks, ooh, Hillary's going to prison. WikiLeaks is so good. Ooh, WikiLeaks, oh, I love WikiLeaks. And then when he gets in office, he's like, I don't know what WikiLeaks is. And then Donald Trump hired people like Pompeo and Rick Grenell, who probably want Julian Assange dead. So it's like they grifted off of Julian Assange to get into office. They used WikiLeaks, Julian Assange's organization. And then when Julian Assange got arrested, all of a sudden, Mike Pompeo, Rick Grenell, and Donald Trump don't know who Julian Assange is unless they're talking about going after him. So, it's like all these things, it just seems like a circus to me. It's like, enter your email and we'll fight the deep state. We need to pardon the guy that we didn't pardon. Like, I don't know. It just feels like Tom and Jerry to me, and I just can't unsee it. So it is what it is. And the fifth, but I like Don Jr. I like him. I think he seems more honorable than Trump Sr., to be honest, but I can't vote for him, unfortunately. When someone said, did you talk about the tranny who got beat in a benching competition? I did not, but stay tuned. We'll get into deep, important issues like benching competitions with transsexuals. Anyway, the fifth and final Clown World of the Grift of the Week it's a tie between Alex Brushewitz and Rick Grenell. They're going with this narrative now because Trump's getting arrested. Alex Brushewitz and Rick Grenell, I heard them both say this. They're like, everyone should drop out and support Donald Trump. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, it would be like if LeBron James had a bad call, like the referee made a bad call on LeBron, and they're like, you know what? That's not fair. Why don't we not even have a Western Conference Finals? Let's just kick all the other teams out and just put LeBron's team in the finals. It's like, let's not do that. Let's have a Republican primary, and Trump's the favorite, so he's probably going to win anyway, but let's actually have competition. So I just think it's hilarious that Alex Brushewitz and Rick Grenell are using this as an opportunity. I mean, think about what's going on politically. Trump's campaign manager or senior advisor, Jason Miller, is saying that Trump has raised more money in the last 5 days than he has since he left office. Does that sound bad to you? Donald Trump is rising in the polls because this gives him a new victim card and this gives him a new, well, he must be an outsider. That's good for him. And then you have two people who are either working for him or not working for him. I don't know, like, the extent. It seems like it. I can't prove it, but it's like they're like Trump, 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 Trump. They're trying to act like, okay, now nobody should compete with him. Like, everybody get out of his way. Like, Rick Grinnell's like, everyone should drop out. DeSantis, Nikki Haley, everyone drop out and get behind Trump. And Alex Bruchowitz is like, see, you're not a real patriot. You're not a real patriot if you don't drop. It's like, let the Republican primary be the Republican primary. Just because this happened to Trump and he's getting massive fundraising, now everyone else has to drop out and there's no competition in the Republican Party. That sounds really stupid. But using this as an opportunity to try to dice out the competition is just weird. Let Trump win by merit. He did it last time. He beat 15 people on stage. Ted Cruz, Rand Paul. Did people say in 2016, oh, everyone should drop out and just give a crown to Donald Trump and get on their knees? And like, no, Trump competed and he won. He's good. He's a great debater, especially on a crowded stage. He's better when there's 15 people. When it's just 1-on-1, in my opinion, he's not as good as he is with a big stage. Because when there's a big stage and there's too many people on stage, you got to be a little crazy and like loud. If you're quiet and meek like Rand Paul, you just get swallowed up. So Trump does fine in Republican primary debates. That's like his strong suit. So let the guy compete, okay? It's not like, oh, well, Trump got arrested, so now Ron DeSantis has to drop out. It sounds so weak and weird. That's my top 5 clown world grifts of the week. Let me know what you think. I'll say this. Name something in the comment section that's worse than what they're accusing Trump of. I could think of like 1,000 things. I don't know. Every war from Vietnam to Afghanistan, the Steele dossier, Clinton thing that she got a fine for. I don't know. What's not worse than what are they even accusing Trump of? Who cares? Like, you know, no one's done anything worse. What about locking the country down? What about 15 days to slow the spread? What about a socialist vaccine scam? What about, you know, extending lockdowns for 2 years like Democrats did and trying to enslave the population? What about the fact that they shut down beaches and kids' schools and sports, and then kids got fatter and the death rate went up? What about life expectancy in our country going backwards because people are dying from legal opioids and fentanyl, which is legal in some cases, but it's coming across the border illegally? Like, I could think of 1,000 things that are worse than this. You know, so I could give you the generic take if you want, like, oh, you know, Trump man good, blue man bad, you know, Alvin Bragg man bad. It's like, yeah, we get it. But this is, to me, it just seems like a controlled arena. If you can control the narrative, it doesn't matter what people think. And this is the point I'm getting to, because I don't have this huge ego like, oh, I could tell you my opinion matters so much. My opinion doesn't matter. You know, everybody thinks they matter so much. You know, yeah, God made you special. You matter. I'm not trying to like make people hate themselves. You matter in the world. But as far as like some of these influencers, like, pray for Trump, post this meme or you don't care. Do you think a meme, like, this is just as dumb as posting a square for Black Lives Matter? Yeah, post what you want. If you love Trump, love Trump. If you make Trump merch, make Trump merch. I'm not telling people not to be themselves, but it's like, you think me posting a square on Twitter is gonna save Donald Trump in a court in New York City? You know? There's people all outside of the courthouse. You know, it's a content bonanza. Everybody's making money. You know what I'm saying? Left-wing media making money. Right-wing media making money. Left-wing politicians making money. Right-wing politicians making money. In my view, how is this a threat to the establishment? I don't see it. I see Trump as the perfect like circus character to just grift off of for the next 10 years for them. It's like a fake Tom and Jerry show to me. So I don't know what really to say about it. Like, I'm not that into it because I think there's bigger issues. I think they're trying to skirt away from what they did. Both parties locked the country down originally. Democrats went further. Both parties did vaccine socialism for Bill Gates and his friends and all these vaccine type people. I mean, it's not directly for Bill Gates, but you get what I'm saying. It's not for me. I didn't want one. And then the left wing goes further. So this is like the controlled opposition fake circus. The Republicans are in on it. The Democrats are in on it. The Democrats go further, so then Republicans forget that Republicans were in on it. It would be like if me and the Democrats were on the same team, and the Democrats scored 80 points on you, and the Republicans scored 30 points on you, and then after the game, I'm like, you're like, the Democrats scored the most. And I'm like, yeah, but the Republicans also scored 30 points on you. And, oh, no, that never happened. That's most Republican voters. They don't even remember that Republicans are scamming them because Democrats just scam them more. It's like, I can't talk about the fact that Operation Warp Speed was a scam because they didn't mandate it. Yeah, the Democrats go further, but that doesn't mean Operation Warp Speed was good. It's socialism. I'm against socialism. You say you're against socialism, but when they give $16 billion and buy the dose, all of Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, all of Operation Warp Speed, it's not capitalism. There's no free market. It's free because it's government socialism. The whole thing is worse than actual people socialism. And this is how Republicans scam you. And this is why liberals are slightly right about this. They're like, oh, you just care about corporations. It's like Democrats are wrong about almost everything. But one thing that they're slightly right about is Republican politicians tell you they hate socialism, and then they do it for the vaccine industry and they do it for corporations. So you're really just as dumb because it's like, oh, we're against socialism, but you support socialism for companies and not for yourself. You get like a $1,600 Trump check. It's like, here, go buy some sneakers and an Xbox. And then, the economy will implode and we'll blame Joe Biden and Russia. It's like, it's a joke to me. So, that's the story to me, is like Democrats are scamming, Republicans are scamming less, and neither party can figure it out. So I don't really see it stopping. So I'm just going to try to have fun with it instead of crying, because what's the point of complaining? If people want it, it's like me trying to cancel the Kardashians or something. It's like, don't watch this, it's degenerate. And everyone's like, we want to watch it. It's like, who am I to judge? I'll just let it be. Is what it is. I saw Savannah Hernandez, a friend of mine, was out there in the streets, and there's some black woman dressed in whiteface or something. Now I'm just gonna get into controversial things that I don't know where else to talk about. There's some black lady in the streets in front of the Trump thing with like white painting on her face, like in whiteface or something, and she's like yelling, "I hate white people," and just being really weird. And I was like, I can't tell if that's a New York City crackhead, an employee for the Biden administration, or an ESPN co-host. Like, it's hard for me to tell nowadays. Like, is that just a crackhead? Maybe she's just on drugs and she just lives in New York City. Maybe she's the new, Skip Bayless co-host. Maybe she's getting an ESPY this year. Maybe she plays sports. Maybe she steals luggage for the Biden administration. It's hard to tell, like, who's who, like crackhead or federal government employee. Dylan Mulvaney, it's like some transgender guy dressing as a girl. I don't know. Like, I guess like everyone's crying because like Budweiser did an ad with them. And I follow mostly right-wingers on Twitter, and all I see is trans stuff in my feed. Like, if I didn't know better, I would think right-wingers were like transsexual promoters. It's like they're like, look how gross this sexualization thing is. Here, stare at it for 2 minutes. It's really damaging to kids and adults, so I'm going to make you stare at it. It's like, I don't know. If you hate it so much, why do you keep putting it in my face? At a certain point, I understand if you're on the street doing journalism at a school, but it's like, right-wingers just promote tranny stuff all the time, and then they act like they're fighting it. I want to read a back and forth between Jared Monroe. Jared used to work, he was Jared for, Steven Crowder show, and Owen Benjamin on Twitter, because I thought it's how I felt, and I don't really see very many people saying this. I saw Zuby Music say it as well, but I'm just going to read their back and forth, because this is kind of how I feel about this sort of stuff. Jared Monroe said, "For the past 3 weeks, my Twitter timeline has been nothing but trannies and freaks. Jeffrey Marsh, Dylan Mulvaney, drag kids, all from the right. I'd like to return to the days where I could just enjoy Twitter and food simultaneously." Owen Benjamin answered. He said, "You're 100% accurate on this. The largest distributors of Drag Story Hour videos are conservatives pretending to be disgusted. And it clearly doesn't do anything positive at all. Just normalizes and spreads despair and a false view that it's America now when it's not." And Jared responded, "I'm pro-faith, family, and freedom. Also, here's my social timeline dedicated to videos of sexually deviant freaks and child sex slaves." I mean, it's hard for me to disagree because, like, I understand you have to do journalism on it. I understand if there's, like, a show and you're a journalist, you can do it. But when you're just promoting this stuff all the time in my Twitter feed, you're making me watch it. You're as bad as like Pornhub or something. You're like, porn's bad, so here it is in your face. Look at this all the time. Sexualized stuff. It's like, get it out of my face. Report on it. Do an article on it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. But get it out of my face. I don't understand why conservatives promote it so much. It's It's annoying. Do I have to unfollow people? I don't know. Another thing, I thought this was a hilarious response. Brigitte Gabriel, apparently she's supposed to be like a Republican on my side or something. She said, bring back the draft. Mandatory military service would do a lot of good for a very soft, ungrateful generation of Americans. So, Republican, not all of them, obviously, not me and millions, but some of them are trying to bring back the military draft. This response from Andrew Tate was hilarious. He did it on a different post, but it lined up with this. Andrew Tate said, if you don't slaughter the illiterate farmers in Whocaresistan with the most advanced military equipment known to man, how will you have the freedom to watch your kids get sex changes? I mean, I feel the same way as Andrew Tate, honestly, who's out of jail. Blessings to him, and hopefully, he didn't get too messed up in jail. He looks stronger and better than ever, but it's like, that's kind of how I feel. It's like the American, like, what do we do? I love America. Let me just preface with this. I love America. I love this country. I want to win in the world. I'm not a loser. But what have we really done in the last 15 years? It's like we go to a Muslim country and then we like get Christians killed and displaced and try to make Muslims gayer. And then they have people like Sean Hannity and Mark Levin on the television trying to brainwash conservatives into thinking they're spreading freedom. I'm Mark Levin and I'm in design. I mean, freedom. I mean, that's anti-Semitic. I mean, what the hell? I mean, we need to start a war. I mean, oh my God, that's hate speech. I don't believe in hate speech, but that's hate speech when it comes to my people. I'm just a hypocrite. I mean, what? It's like they put people like that on television to convince you that you're like spreading freedom in Afghanistan, but you're really dropping off rainbow flags and like destroying the Christian population. Look at Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine is just getting gayer and gayer and gayer every day. If you're left wing, then that's fine. It's like if the right wing is left wing, just say you're left wing and be like, no, that's great. We need to go make Ukraine gayer. It's not my thing. I don't want to go around making the world like gayer. I don't think that's like my mission. But as if that is your mission, like it is what it is, But Republicans are always like, we gotta fight the Muslim, and it's like Ukraine's just getting gayer. I know most Republicans see through this. So I'm not 90% of the party sees through it, and it's the liberals on it, but the Mark Levins of the world are like kind of into it. The Shapiros, etc. But it's like they're criminalizing hate speech against LGBTQ in Ukraine, and in Russia they're going the opposite way. So it's like everywhere America goes in the world, it just gets gayer. And then we just fight people who aren't gay. That's how I see it. You could say that's rude or mean. I think it's funny. I would call this comedy. But sometimes reality is comedy. Sometimes it only takes 3 months for the Babylon Bee to just become real. So it's like, I don't know. Should I want a military draft to send 18-year-olds to run around the world and make America more gay? I mean, make the world more gay? I don't know. I think we need to heal from within first, but to each their own. Apparently, someone said Anomaly so soft, a beta male at heart. Sassy Sarah 223, you can go fight and try to make Afghanistan, Iraq, and Ukraine gay if you want. Like, is that your mission as a patriot? Anomaly so soft, a real man would go spread sodomy in Palestine. Anomaly's such a soft guy. I mean, I'm a patriot. I'll go to Qatar and try to put up a rainbow flag. I mean, I want to fight drag queen story hour in my state. I can't do it in my own country, but we're gonna go spread freedom over the world. But we don't have freedom here. We're gonna go spread a democracy. But I don't believe in the elections here. But we're gonna go give Palestine a fair election. Like, yeah, tonight on Sean Hannity. I think you're watching the wrong show. That'll do it for sure. I forget I had something else to say, but I might move to the next topic. Apparently, there was some woman fight. You are and you rant like a little bitch. Okay, Sassy Sarah. I mean, your name is definitely on brand. You're such an alpha male, Sarah. You're such an alpha. You should just have a wife. You're such an alpha female. I'm sure you're going to delight a guy if you haven't already, but God bless you. I'm sorry you landed on my page and acting like I'm inconveniencing you. You just rant, and I just sit here and listen to it. I don't like you, but I'm yelling at you. I'm Sassy Sarah. Cool. That's weird. You're acting like I wanted you. Like, I don't even know who you are. Why, how did you land on my page? We need to be real patriots. I mean, the only way to lock her up is to get your own supporters locked up. I mean, you got to trust the plan and act like lockdowns are good for 5 months and then say they're bad and then go to the Capitol and get arrested by the feds. That's the only way to be a real patriot. You got to give your money and sign up to email lists. I mean, the only way to be a patriot is to give Trump your text message cell phone so he could text you 1,000 times a day. Oh, patriot, it's April Fool's Day, but this is no joke. 500%. There's patriot points. You give me a ton, you get in a raffle for a signed Don Jr. golf club. You can come to Mar-a-Lago. You give me your money. It's like, whatever, sign up to the email list or the text thing. All right. Can I talk about female sports? Can I dig myself in a deeper hole real quick or no? All right. Apparently I was gone for the weekend, not really paying attention, but there's like a whole cultural thing going on in female basketball. I guess women play too. I wasn't paying attention, but apparently, they get to play too now, which is weird. No, I'm just kidding. But the women's NCAA, one day a year, everybody pretends to care about it, and there's like one chick like taunted the girl or something. She went like this and like waved her finger in her face or something. I don't know. I watched the clip of it and I saw like a lot of people like, oh my gosh, that's so bad. That's so classless. She should have got a fine. Maybe like the tension was heightened. I'm not saying it matters, but like the chick that was taunting was black and the chick she was taunting was white. I think Caitlin Clark's pretty famous. Like the chick she was taunting, like, I don't know. It's this whole like fight that people are having that I, once again, don't really care about, but it's like she was taunting her. And then other people are like, she wasn't taunting her. That's just part of the game. And in my head, I'm like, I thought the transgenders were starting to play. Like, why are we even talking about women playing? Aren't we going to let transgenders play? And then none of this matters anyway. So it's like, why would I even argue about something? Just let the transgenders in, and then, you'll have something else to argue about. Like we're going to argue over two biologically born women playing sports. Like, that's embarrassing. So what do I think about it? I don't care. Tell me when the transgenders are in the league, and then I'll start paying attention. Until then, I'm bored. I want to see one of them dunk, like really dunk, not like barely dunk like me. I'm talking like I'm talking like Ja Morant, throw money at a strip club, 360 windmill. Until that comes, who cares? She taunted her. Grow up. It's part of the game. Sometimes you get a technical, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get a foul call. Sometimes the ref makes a bad call. Who cares? I think the tensions were heightened because the one chick was black and the one chick was white. I'm not saying it matters, but you know how people are. Oh, that's classless. It's like, is it though? I don't know. Maybe. Who cares? Let the transgenders play so we can get some real entertainment in there. Let me know what you guys think. Except for Sassy Sarah, you've already told me what you think, and I'm not really feeling it. But I guess if you do want to talk, Sassy Sarah, anybody could talk. If you do want to talk, tell me like what part of what I said you're mad at. I'm just curious because I said a lot of stuff. Sometimes when people get mad, I'm like, what? It's like when you're at the thing, like where on the doll did he hurt you? Like which part? I said like 50 things today. I'm like confused. Like you never know. Sometimes the funniest thing makes people upset. I'm like, was it the campaign thing? Was it the left-wing media thing? Was it the white face black girl? Was it, I don't know, the Trump bad part? I'm not even saying he's bad. I just see it as a clown show. And I know people get mad at me because they're like, you got to be emotional. No, that's how they get you into this stuff. You get what I'm saying? That's how they get you into all this stuff, by being like jacked up. It's like, I don't see it as I think it's only helped Trump. I think it's only helped Trump. I think it's only helped left-wing media. I think it's only helped right-wing media. I think they like him. In my view, I'm going to say this so you get mad again. When he ran, and I'm going to go full circle because he did a lot of good things too. I would vote for him over Biden. If it was him and Biden's so bad at just foreign policy, I'd rather have Trump try to keep the petrodollar afloat if he can. I would vote for him. I don't hate him. I'm not like, oh, I'm never Trump. I'm not Joe Walsh. Oh, I'm never Trump. Let me have a job at MSNBC. I'm not Joe Walsh. I'm not whatever that guy's name is, Bill Mitchell, who, I'm not even mad at Bill Mitchell, but I was never Bill Mitchell. He was like, he loved Trump. He hates. I'm just saying, going back to when he ran, he was like running on the WikiLeaks stuff, and he was running on Lock Hillary up. And these are three of his main points, okay? He did come through on a lot of stuff he did. Like, he moved the Jerusalem embassy. Oh, wow, that does so much for me. Thank you. But anyway, he was like, I'm going to lock her up. I don't need their money. I won't sell out because I won't take their money. And he was talking about WikiLeaks. When he got in office, he did take the money. I've already proved he's taken hundreds of millions of dollars from corporations. The reason that he seems a little different is because he is different. He sold out, but nobody wants to report on it. So let's just pretend like it doesn't exist. He took their money. He said he would never take their money. He didn't lock her up. When his supporters started chanting lock her up, he was like, no, 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 no. Like, he didn't actually mean that. And then the third, he acted like he didn't know who WikiLeaks was, but he did a lot of stuff. He created peace with North Korea, like cool. There were some moments in there. But then when push came to shove in 2020, it's like he sold vaccines just like anyone else would have. It's like there's where it would have helped to have an outsider like, okay, don't do vaccine socialism. Don't say they're saving the world. Don't push them so hard. He pushed them harder than Bill Gates did. So it's like, how is this guy a threat to the establishment? He hires the establishment. Like 90% of his cabinet was the establishment. His deep state directors are so bad that they stay under the Biden administration. Do you know how much of a not outsider you have to be that your FBI director doesn't even move under Joe Biden? Like, they don't even have to fire him because that's exactly who they want. That's the outsider. He hires their people. He sells their pharmacy products. It's like, and left-wing media makes an absolute cash cow. Left-wing media is dead in the water as soon as Trump just takes a seat. As soon as Trump keeps running, he's keeping them on the lifeline. So it's like, I don't think they hate him. I think it's the Helga Arnold thing. I think they love him. I think they want him. I think they need him. I think they know that they have no purpose. Because like, if you take him out of it, it's like, what do they have? Like abortion, and like they hate Republicans or something. It's like their shtick really doesn't work as well without like a supervillain. It's the same as like having like Hulk Hogan or having like, a different guy that nobody knows. It's like the show will go on, but it doesn't work as well unless you have like the Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, once you lose those characters, it just, it's not going to sell as many tickets. So I think he is the draw. He is the character. He is that guy to both sides. Like, why would they want to get rid of him? It's perfect. He'll sell the vaccines when he needs to sell the vaccines. He'll slow the spread when he needs to slow the spread. He'll put Fauci on the TV when he needs to. He'll tell you lock her up when he needs to, and then tell you not to. He'll be on WikiLeaks side when he needs to, then he won't. He'll say he won't take the money, then he'll take the money. It's like, I don't see him as a huge threat, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just like not that into it anymore. Like there's an old saying like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's like, fool me 5,000 times and you're in American politics. Like, that's what's going on. I'm over it. If people want to get into it, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with people. I don't want to be part of like this fake, controlled like circus. Like, it's almost like they choose for you what to talk about. It's like, here's this topic, talk about that. And it's like, well, I think this. Well, I think this. Well, you're thinking in their paradigm, so it doesn't matter what you think because they've controlled you within that arena. Like, for years, nobody said a single bad thing about DeSantis. Nobody criticized him. Nobody did journalism on him. Everybody in MAGA loved him. I liked him too, to some extent, but I definitely was like, hey, I don't like this. Like, I did a few reports where I was like, hey, DeSantis is pushing some creepy stuff that isn't very American, in my opinion. Like, I did that reporting in 2019, but nobody did. And then it's like with a switch, I don't care if you love or hate DeSantis or report this or that. I just want you to do it on your own, where it's like the switch was flipped, and people that are like, DeSantis is the best governor in the world, just when Trump told him to, they're like, DeSantis is deep state, DeSantis is establishment. And then I'm like, why is DeSantis establishment? And then they would name things that Trump is also doing. They're like, DeSantis is establishment because he worked with Karl Rove. So did Trump's advisors for the 2020 campaign. DeSantis is establishment because he hangs out with Jeb Bush. Well, Trump's on a stage with Lindsey Graham, who's probably even further deep state. well, it's like, well, DeSantis is a deep state because he closed the beaches. Now you're gonna say that DeSantis did worse on COVID than Trump when they're comparable at best. Like it just became this thing where everyone did it just because they were told to do it, and then none of their talking points actually make sense. The reason DeSantis is deep state is the same reason that Trump's deep state, because they're taking hundreds of millions of dollars from donors, in many cases the same donors that care about the same foreign country. That's why Trump and DeSantis both fly over, kiss the wall, and pass speech laws against the American Constitution. Yeah, they are both controlled, but Trump's never going to tell you how because he's controlled by the same people, and then they say it's hate speech to say that it's happening. So, I just solved the 2-year mystery. People can run in circles and bash their heads on the wall if they want, but I'm not interested. People are like, they're like drooling at the mouth. You're a simp. I don't care that much. Go find a left winger to fight with. Go in the streets of San Francisco and like fight with like Antifa and trans activists or something. I'm just not interested. And here's another thing too. This is maybe a crazy concept, but I don't want to go to another city to complain about a city I don't even live in. You want to hear my San Francisco activism? I'm not going there. You want to hear my Los Angeles activism? I haven't stepped foot in Los Angeles in like 2 years. I think I went to the airport one time when I had to. Besides that, I haven't gone. That's real activism. Is I'm gone. I'm not bringing my money there. If we're protesting San Francisco, we're gonna go to San Francisco, buy an apartment in San Francisco, buy a lot of stuff in San Francisco to protest San Francisco, and then we're gonna yell at people in San Francisco when we don't even like them. How is that protesting San Francisco? The real protest is not going. I like where I live. I like my community. I like my county. I like my area. I spend money there. I support coffee shops there. I support mom and pop shops there. That's real activism, not me flying to Los Angeles to dump thousands of dollars into Los Angeles to yell at people in a community that I don't want to be in. I don't understand that. But this is what, in my view, a lot of people do for content. And I think Jesse Kelly mentioned something that's interesting, and this is where I would rather go with it. Jesse Kelly said not a single Republican DA has charged a Democrat. Like, instead of, complaining about them charging Trump, why aren't you charging a Democrat for something illegal they did? And I know 2 wrongs don't make a right, but didn't a lot of Democrats do illegal stuff? It's like, didn't you run for 4 years? You got into office because you said you were going to arrest Democrats. You didn't do anything. You get out of office. Then the Democrats arrested you. It's like they're actually doing what they said they'd do, unlike Republicans. At least they followed through with it. They said they were going to arrest Trump, and they actually did. Like, Republicans say the same thing. They just don't do it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying in general, it's like, the biggest joke is the Republican Party. It's like, I'm not even saying they have to go arrest a Democrat, but why don't you just keep your state? Let's not fly to New York and San Francisco. Let's keep the nice places nice. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is a weird thing to me too. Texas, Georgia, even Tennessee to some extent. It's not that far, but if you look at trends in Georgia and Texas, these were heavy Republican states that are slowly turning into Democrat states. Like, Texas used to win elections by 20, 30 points. Now they're winning by 5 points. Georgia used to be Republican for sure. Now it's like 50-50. I mean, they're almost losing their elections. So Republicans are losing some really key states like Georgia and Texas. And you look at the only Republican state that I've seen that was a swing state that went further Republican was Florida. Florida is a 50-50 swing state in which Ron DeSantis flipped a Democrat city and won, and you have the leader of the Republican Party just bashing him every day instead of trying to learn from what he did. Even if you hate Ron DeSantis, you can learn from people you don't like. He took a swing state and flipped a Democrat city. When's the last time you've seen a Democrat city flip? Like, Republicans do nothing in the states they own. They can't build a wall in Texas. They're losing Texas. They're losing Georgia. They're losing like every state they have. The one state that they're flipping in the other direction, they're just bashing the guy who's doing it. Like, it's a clown show. It's a total clown show. I'm gonna read a super chat. That girl, Casey, said, much respect to you and everything you do for starters. I understand you don't want to be fooled again, but I think there's another way to look at it. I'm going live at 4 p.m. I wish you to join. Okay, that was a good self promo. Congrats. I'm sure a few people will watch your show. You could just explain it in a super chat if you want, or just a regular chat, but I don't feel like watching your whole show to see. But no, I'm not saying like your show's not good. I don't know. I got things to do today. Someone said most red states are barely 50-50. Yeah, Arizona's losing. Like they're going in the wrong direction in every state. And the one state they're going in the right direction, they're like, yeah, he cheated. That girl, Casey said, I'm sure you'll be busy, but maybe you could watch later. I support your work even if I don't sound the same. No, I appreciate it, Casey. I didn't mean to like bash your show or anything. I'm just saying I'm a little busy later. I mean, I get how people are like, it's like I get the other side of it. I'll try to check it out, but it's like Patriots, they just hate me because I'm standing in the way. Give me money, give me money, give me money. I'm in the way, give me money. I'm raising record donations. I'm in the way. It's like I don't see it that way anymore. It's gonna take a lot to really convince me at this point because I don't know. I don't think Republicans are actually trying to do that much. I think when a Republican actually does something, you're like, oh, I might be wrong with this, but I'll say this. I don't trust Ron DeSantis, okay? I think he's a politician. I don't like his foreign policy per se, but I do think this. I think that Trump's cabinet is so bad, his cabinet that he chose. I think if DeSantis won, although he would do some suspect stuff, I think DeSantis would hire people that are way better than Trump's. And I think within a month, people would realize that it's actually possible to hire a good cabinet. Like, I think Trump is so bad at it and so good at being charismatic that people think it's not possible. Like, oh, you have to hire your enemies. You have to hire the deep state. You have to hire Bill Barr. You have to hire people who hate you. You have to hire John Bolton. You actually don't have to do that. So it's like, I think if DeSantis got in and started hiring people, within 2 weeks, MAGA would be like, oh, it actually is possible to hire better people. I think Trump is better on foreign policy. I think DeSantis is a politician, but I think he's more pragmatic and he's not such a clown. Like, to me, Trump is the ultimate deceiver. He acts like he's such an outsider. He acts like he's so much above it, but he's really not. And he's really not good at hiring people because he's not who he says he is. Like, if he really was an outsider, you see his cabinet filled with outsiders. You're not going to see that. It's going to be filled with Mike Pompeo's, Rick Grinnell's, Bill Barr's, Christopher Wray's. That's who Trump really is. He's really friends with all these people. He's really connected to the Lindsey Grahams of the world. He just knows how to act like he's not. With DeSantis, I don't think he's necessarily acting. I think he's a politician. I don't think he's your best friend, but I think he's a more pragmatic politician that will do a little bit more, in my view. They're both the same. I think they're both controlled by the same people, but I think Trump is genuinely like, he knows how to achieve power and he knows how to be likable, but I think that's all he cares about. Like, how do I convince, the middle of America that I'm just like them, and then I'm going to hire like a bunch of swamp creatures, but they're not going to ever call me out on it because I'm so cool. Like, that's how I see it. Personally, I think DeSantis would hire like better people at the FDA. I think he'd hire better people at HHS. I don't see him hiring pharmacy lobbyists like that. Maybe he would. Maybe he'd be exactly the same and he'd sell out too. But it's like, I think they're so desperate to even block that from happening, because if people saw like someone who actually did it, it would ruin his whole shtick. Like, Trump's whole shtick is like, I can't do anything. I can't hire right. I have to hire Bill Barr. Oh, Bill Barr sucks. Oh, Mike Pence sucks. That's like Trump's whole act is like, oh, Mike Pence is out to get me. And everyone's like, oh my God, Mike Pence is out to get Donald Trump. Mike Pence is so bad. Trump hired Mike Pence for probably the most important position in his cabinet, his vice president. He hired him. If he's so bad, then how bad is the guy who hired him? Oh, it's not Trump's fault. You think DeSantis is going to hire Mike Pence? Like, maybe he hires an idiot, but it's like, I feel like Trump is so bad at that stuff. He's just so good at pretending like it's not his fault. It's so annoying and it's so cringe. It's like, is that all that's possible? If that's all that's possible, then stop paying attention, because there's no point. It's all fake. If it is possible to do better, then look for better options. But it's like, at best, it's fake. So that's why I don't care anymore. It's like, either DeSantis is going to do the same fake stuff, which is like a possibility, a high possibility, or he could hire slightly better and do some things worse and better. It's like, I don't see it the way, like, people are like, oh yeah, he would be president, but like, he would be president, but like, dude, like Mike Pence ruined it for him. Mike Pence decides who's the president. Who picked Mike Pence to be there? Oh, but it's not his fault. He has to. It's like, It's a WWE show. If you're not into Pokemon, if you're not into WWE, if you don't like to watch sports, if you want to live vicariously through a McDonald's vaccine salesman, or you want to hate him like Helga Bataki style, American politics is for you. It's something to watch. It's something to pay attention to. It's something to feel like you're a part of something and, really get really close, but never get there. But if you're into like the truth and reality, it's better to focus on yourself, take a look in the mirror, figure out what you can do and execute in your personal life. Because at the end of the day, your family, your work life, like these are things that are really going to affect you, not this clown show, in my opinion. Someone said they all stabbed Trump in the back when push came to shove. I don't know if that's how you see it. They had his back and then they stabbed him in the back. What about the fact that does Trump bear no responsibility for 15 days to slow the spread, for putting Fauci on television for 2 months? No, he's a victim. When he's involved in Operation Warp Speed and he's involved in the lockdown of America, he even tweeted, there's a tweet from him saying, despite what governors are saying, it's my decision. I locked down. He's like bragging about it on his Twitter. I could find you the tweet. But no, he's a victim. He's a victim. Mike Pence. I mean, who would have known Mike Pence wouldn't be on his side? The real messed up thing that Mike Pence did was the coronavirus task force. But once again, the coronavirus task force and Mike Pence's, I would say, Mike Pence's presence during the lockdowns was the most egregious thing that Mike Pence ever does, but nobody talks about Mike Pence's role in the coronavirus task force because Trump has brainwashed the right wing into just listening to his story. Trump is the Pied Piper. No one has a brain. Let's not talk about March to November. Let's talk about November 2020 for 3 months until he sets us up at the Capitol. Let's talk about the election for 3 years, but not the fact that our party was in on it. Let's play the victim. Let's not look at what we did wrong so we can fix it. Like, it's all this fake show that he makes up, and people just march in circles around it. The worst thing that Mike Pence did is not him not overturning the election on January 6th. The worst thing he did was all the coronavirus task force stuff, but nobody talks about it because nobody tells you to talk about it. People are taking orders like robots. They have no critical thinking skills. They don't look at what happened. It's just like, well, what did Trump tell me to think about this thing now? Like, no one, and the Republican Party doesn't care when Pence does the coronavirus task force. Nobody's talking about what he did during the lockdowns because the Republican Party doesn't give a crap. You get what? Like, they don't actually care. They're just pretending. Like, oh. And then it's the same when Trump meets with like Nick Fuentes and Ye. You hear how loud they get when Trump meets with Ye and Nick Fuentes. Like, oh my God. They're like, Trump met with Kanye. Oh my God, it's so bad. Do you care when Trump meets with a pharmacy lobbyist? No, you don't care, right? You don't care when Trump meets with like vaccine manufacturers and does socialism. Like, the Republican Party is fake and gay. They go around the world and make the whole world gay. Like, that's what they do. They're like, we're trying to fight Drag Queen Story Hour on Twitter by showing you a bunch of transsexuals all the time on Twitter. That's how we're going to fight it, patriots. The only way to stop the over-sexualization of people seeing too much tranny sex content is us showing you tranny sex content. And then we're going to go to Afghanistan and try to plant rainbow flags. And then we're going to cry on Twitter that we can't fix it here, but we're going to go give it to other countries. Like, that's what the Republican Party really is. They don't care. It's just like so cringe. But if people want to watch it, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to stop you. Everybody has a hobby. If you want to act like Trump is a hero or he's a villain, it's, it keeps some people going. There's some like, dirty, smelly Catwoman somewhere in San Francisco jammed into a little closet apartment, and she's got nothing going on, and, just hating Trump keeps her going. It's like her cats are, the cat hair's all over her. She's slurping down her cashew milk lattes, just watching CNN, waiting for Trump to get arrested. Like, just like I used to like Tom and Jerry, she likes politics. It keeps her, it's something to watch. I'm not trying to take it away from her, because without that Anderson Pooper Cooper, talking about Trump, she might not make it. So you gotta back off and be like, some people need it. And then on the right, it's the same thing. Some people are stitching Trump things, and they need a good hero story. They need to act like it's a Marvel movie. They like the fact that he campaigns and says lock her up, and then he gets in office and says no, I was just kidding. They like the fact that he says WikiLeaks is so awesome. And then he gets in and it's like, I don't know who WikiLeaks is, and hires people who want to kill Julian Assange. You know, they like him saying he'll never take anyone's money, but then he takes all the money and then they don't even notice because they're so brainwashed by his personality. You know, they like people who side with Pfizer and Johnson, bring Johnson & Johnson on stage and say like, oh, it's so great. Like some people, if that's your idea of a hero, then it's like, who am I to take him away from you? He'll definitely, you know, he's better than Biden. I'll vote for him over Biden. I'm just not that, like, if people want to do this like fanfare, I'm not interested. It's just like if people are like, yo, do you want to dress like Goku and go to Comic-Con? Not right now. I'm not mad at you, but like, you know, some people like Comic-Con. Some people want to live in this fairy tale. That's fine. I'm not mad at it. It's just like, I'm over it. I'm just going to make jokes about it. You know, I think he's better than Biden. I think he'll do better foreign policy. I mean, Biden has set the bar so low. Like, what is Biden really doing? How could you not be better than Biden? Like, all you have to do is just like crap your pants and take a nap and you're better than Joe Biden. He's making like Rachel Levine, like, you know what I'm saying? Like getting us in this war. Joe Biden's the worst. Anyone's better than him. That's the name of politics. It's like the left is like, you don't want to be like the right, do you? And then like the left can't think for themselves. And they're like, no, I hate right wingers. I would never. I got it. And then like, you know, the right is like, oh, you don't want to be like them, do you? And you're like, hell no. And they're like, oh, go vote for us. And that's the whole paradigm. It's like you got two things, and like this one's like really, 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 really bad. And this one's just like really, really bad, but it pretends to be good. And some people see it, some people don't. And then it's like, just fight with the other guys. And it's like, okay. The analogy I was saying earlier, I just want to bring it back because it's so true. I vote Republican. I am a registered Republican. I will still vote for these losers because they're the better of the two options. But it doesn't mean they're not scamming us. That's all I want to get to. You got to understand, I'm still going to vote for these losers. After the primary, I'm going to vote for the red elephant loser because I think the red elephant loser, whether it's Trump or DeSantis, is going to be better than the Joe Biden, you know, donkey loser. But when it comes to like me talking about this stuff, I don't understand why people get so upset. It's like the Republicans scam us 5 times and the Democrats scam us 15 times. And then I just say the Republicans scammed us 5 times, and people, it's like they got the Men in Black memory eraser. They don't even remember that the Republicans scammed them. It's insane. They're like, the Republicans never did that. Someone said on my Twitter today, someone asked why I delete it, because I don't feel like arguing with people on Twitter. I'll tell a story in a second, but it's like they literally think Republicans never locked down. I was saying something and they're like, Republicans never locked down. That was the Democrats. Are you so brainwashed that you think Republicans never locked down? Never for a day? Not one state? Not one Republican? Really? Like, people really believe this on the Republican Party. They're so brainwashed by the false paradigm and how bad the Democrats are and how long they dragged it out and how much worse they were that they legitimately are lying to themselves and saying Republicans didn't lock down at all. It's insane. And when people ask me why I delete some stuff on Twitter, let me just give you like a quick recap of my weekend. So I went to a national park this weekend. I turned off my phone mostly and just enjoyed nature. You know what I'm saying? Explored a little bit, went on a road trip. And I'm in reality. I'm enjoying my life. I had a great weekend. And then the second I get back to Twitter, I say one thing, just saying I just feel like politics is a clown show. It wasn't even that crazy of a tweet. And the first message I see on Twitter is like, shut up, shut the hell up. It's like, what the hell is social media? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in nature. I'm enjoying my life. I have great interactions in reality. The second I say one thing on Twitter, not picking out one person, basically just saying something so basic, and I got some random person I've never even met, probably 30 states over from me, telling me to shut up. It's like, why do I want to subject myself to this? Why did I delete the tweet? Because my idea of a good time isn't arguing with people in freaking Nebraska or Florida or freaking Pennsylvania on Twitter or wherever they are. I don't care. You get what I'm saying? It's like, why would I do that? Why would I? It's someone said you're new to Twitter. No, I'm not new to it. I'm just saying it's like, I'm not interested in that type of dialogue. I'm trying to run a business. I do work. I enjoy speaking and doing podcasting. Why would I sit there for an hour and argue with somebody 40 states over? I don't even want to argue with somebody in the same bar as me if it's about something stupid. I like the Patriots. I'm a Giants fan. Oh, the Giants suck. Like, I'm not even arguing with that guy at a bar. Why the hell would I sit online and argue with someone across the country? It just doesn't make any sense. And it's just hilarious where it's like the second you open up, you're like, shut the freak up. It's like, got Sassy Cassie or whatever yelling at me on here. It's like, what are you even mad at? And how did you even get here? I don't know. It would be like me going to Rachel Maddow and be like, shut the hell up, Rachel. Shut up. It's like, just turn it off. And there's a lesson there. I know it's impossible to not talk about things you don't like ever. But if you're watching me and you don't like it, every click and every view is something. It's small, but it's something. If you don't like Rachel Maddow, but you watch her all the time, you're helping her. If you're flying to New York City or San Francisco to say how much you hate it, you're dumping your money into that city instead of your own city. If you're posting sexualized transsexual content on Twitter all the time saying sexualized transsexual stuff can damage people, but I'm going to throw it in your face 50 times a day, you're worse than the left. You're promoting sexual content to conservatives. That's what all the right wing I follow. The right-wingers I follow might as well be transsexual promoters. If I didn't know better, I would think they were like their OnlyFans managers or something. You know what I'm saying? They used to say that Elvis's manager used to sell I Hate Elvis pins because he knew he'd make money off the haters and the lovers. It's like, I don't know. If you want to show me how much better you are than Alvin Bragg, why don't you build the wall? The wall has holes in it. It doesn't work. Governor Abbott, build the wall, bro. It's a national emergency. Finish the wall. Do something in your state every week. And I'm not saying maybe he just has better PR and he's more famous. Maybe that's what's going on. But like Ron DeSantis does constitutional carry. He bans the central bank's digital currency. He's the only one who seems to be working. What are the other governors doing? The Republican governors, the Republican DAs, what are they doing? I don't know. I don't see it. Someone said, we like you, but I don't want an echo chamber. That's why I'm here. Well, thank you, Kat. I appreciate it. Max said the dollar's on life support. All the Fed can do is keep printing it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a doomer and a gloomer because I'm sure we'll figure it out. But that's another, unfortunate thing. Japan is starting to work with Russian oil. They're doing that BRICS thing with like South America. What is it? Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia said recently that they're done pleasing us. Like, nobody respects us anymore. Two reasons, I think. One, obviously our leadership is a joke with Biden, but I think our culture is too degenerate. Like, do you think Saudi Arabia looks at America like, oh yeah, I really wish I was them? Nobody wishes they were America anymore. We look disgusting. Our media hates us. We have a subversive media class of people that you can't notice who they are, that literally hate all the people here. They just try to start a race war between black and white, and then they jump back and be like, oh, I'm neither. It's like, yeah, we get it. It's like we're pumping out self-hatred content to the rest of the world. We need to really make America great again from the inside. I hope a Republican wins in 2024, and I hope that we all play our part to uplift our culture because we're really embarrassing ourselves. I'm not trying to over complain, but one thing I saw today on my Twitter feed, and this is just a pet peeve of mine, let me know what you think. When Republicans share the upside down flag, they're like, America's dead, and they just get that out of my face. I'm sorry. I don't like upside down flags. Like, put the flag the right way, okay? It's like, it's such a give up. It's such a beta, like, oh, we're dying. It's like, bro, man up. That, like, if you're a quitter, then leave. You know what I'm saying? If you're quitting on America, then leave America, okay? If you're going to be like, the flag needs to be upside down, it's dead, I didn't get my way because of Trump or whatever. No, you put the flag the right way, you fly it right, and you say, I won't let America die. I won't let America fall. I'm keeping the flag because keeping the flag pointed the right way shows that America is still alive. It's like you're manifesting the death of America by flipping the flag. Republicans always do that when they boo him and flip the flag. Put the flag the right way. All right, our enemies flip the flag. People who hate us flip the flag. You don't flip the flag if you love America. Put it the right damn way. If you think it's dead, then go to Venezuela or move to Africa. If you think America is literally dead, then don't stay here. Maybe you're not from here. You know, everybody loves to get, and this is, I've already cracked the code of why people care so much about politics to like an unhealthy extent. I'm not talking about people who care in a righteous way, but like left wingers hate Donald Trump because they don't want to do anything in their own lives. So they have to live vicariously through this fake story. I'm not going to say they're unimpressive people, but it's like, it's hard to do something in your real life. It's easier to just sit and watch the boob tube and watch a bunch of like weird lesbian liberals or what, like looking liberals or whatever. Just like yell at Donald Trump. It's easier doing that. And same with a lot of people on the right. Like if Trump inspires you, that's awesome. But like a lot of people just want to sit back, poop their pants and say that Trump's going to clean up America. And the second that Trump can't get it done, they're like, oh, we're dead. It's like, we're not dead, bro. Like man up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, if Trump doesn't fix it, we're screwed. That sounds like America losing to me. If everybody just sits around and waits for Donald Trump to do it or thinks he's going to do it, these are people that don't want to fix America. These are people that don't want to man up in their own life and contribute to America. These are people that don't want to execute in their personal lives. You know what I'm saying? America's not going to fall or not fall based on that guy. He was there for 4 years and his term ended in lockdowns and vaccine sales. I'm not saying it's his fault, but he didn't stop it. He couldn't fix it. He had no answer for the Black Lives Matter riots. He had no answer for the lockdowns. He had no answer for Democrat corruption. In fact, when push came to shove, he's like, on television, oh, me and Gavin Newsom are getting along. We're doing ventilators and vaccines. Like that's, if that guy doesn't save America, we don't have a country. To me, it just sounds like people don't actually want to look at the real problem and get to the root of it and turn it around. They just want to like sit back and like, it's like a cheerleader mentality. It's like they're cheering for politicians. They're dumping their money into the guy. It's like, he can only do so much, but he's probably not going to do it. And when you say that, people are like, if he's not going to do it, what the hell are we going to do? Do something in your own personal life. Like, the trends in this country have been happening for 30, 40 years, and it's going to take some really deep truths. There's certain things that have been pushed in the right direction. Certain things haven't, but don't flip the flag upside down. Put it the right way and say we're going to turn this ship around. There's harder problems, and, America might face some harder problems, but it's a lesson. Sometimes you need a problem to really appreciate what you have and to really get it doing right. We've been very fortunate for so long. We've been the reserve currency of the world. We've been the envy of the world. We're still the envy of the world in many ways. It's not over. We still have a great economy. We still have great people. We still have, buried beneath all the disgusting culture, we have good culture. We have good rights. We have good freedoms. We have some good politicians in office who are cementing the Second Amendment, while others don't really care about it. No offense, including Donald Trump, who when he was in office said we should take the guns first and then do the court stuff later. I saw the clip of that and I'm like, he doesn't even support the Second Amendment, but whatever. It's like, everything switches up. But I think the lesson here, and I'm not trying to, I know this comes off wrong, but it's like, we need to figure this stuff out. Whether Trump or Biden gets in, they're not fixing the food supply. There's a reason everybody's so fat in this country and dying. It's not just because of politics. It's like the food supply. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Big Pharma has captured big agriculture. The fact that we're not eating real stuff. Everything's fake. Everything's disgusting. Like, I'm not a perfect person where I try to explain this so I don't overwhelm people. I wish I was this person, but I'm not. I'm not counting my calories. I'm not chopping up chicken into cubes and doing prep meals. I'm just not that guy. I wish I was. But I try to eat clean somewhat because I know how messed up the food is. And that's why everybody's so fat and has all these other stuff. So it's like Trump and Biden's a fake circus. They're not going to fix the food supply. Trump's choices for the FDA and the HHS and all the health departments is egregious. He picked some of the worst people of the last 2 decades. He doesn't give a crap. But I want him to give a crap. Yeah, because you don't want to face the truth. You don't want to face the real problems. You don't want to dive deep and realize it's a lot harder than you just turning on Sean Hannity and pooping your pants over a freaking rally. Like, that's the truth. We got to look at these and be like, listen, he's not going to fix it and he's not going to fix it. So what are we going to do? I don't know. Run circles in New York City around Trump Tower for 5 weeks? It's a psyop. It's a controlled opposition, controlled demolition, clown show while they demolish the country. You know, they don't. It's so it's so obviously fake, but people like it. Liberals want him to get arrested. You know, Trump supporters are pooping their pants, peeing their pants, selling Trump merch, crying, like praying, you know, begging he has a mugshot so they could sell it and make $100,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so obviously not going to get to the root of the issue. And there's only one politician I've ever seen that actually cares about the food supply. His name is Thomas Massie, and that's who Trump tried to kick out of the party when Thomas Massie told everybody the CARES Act and the lockdown was a scam. So that's our party. When one person comes around and says the food supply is corrupt and the lockdown's a mistake, Trump says kick him out of the party. That's what he tried to do. Oh, wow. Someone said RFK Jr. too. Yeah, he's good as well. But, you know, it's like the circus will ramble on. How is this a threat? I don't see it. But America can be fixed. America can be healed. We just have to get to the core of stuff. Things change very quickly. Things change very quickly in this society, culturally, media-wise, politically. Like, just think about some people were the same person they were. Like, some people haven't evolved at all, or they knew earlier. But it's like, look at how many people 6 years ago were these type of people, and now they're like, I'm this. You learn, you evolve, you start to get new information. A lot has changed very quickly. A lot will change. America's not dead. America's not over. There's a lot of great aspects of America, but we do have to look at the problems and just try to turn course. We can do it, but it's not going to happen in this current like Trump versus Alvin Bragg controlled op circus. It's not going to happen. So I'm trying my best to like wake up liberals because, like I said earlier, are they permanently damaged? You know, they care about health. They're just so brainwashed. They don't care about most health. Like, they care more than a lot of conservatives about what they eat and the ingredients. They're a little wrong about some ingredients. They're like, I'm a vegan and all I eat is canola oil. It's like, what's the point of being a vegan? Eat some vegetables. If you're vegan, eat vegetables. You know, don't eat a fake patty that's filled with canola oil, sunflower oil. It's like you're just eating oil. You know, that's not healthy. Like, you're eating like cookies that are, I'm a vegan. I just eat cookies and oil. It's like, eat some damn carrots or something at least. But you get what I'm saying? There are a lot of liberals that care about health. We got to wake these people up because the whole left wing is like useless at this point. What are they doing? They're doing nothing. You got 100 million people just ruining everything. You know what I'm saying? And part of the PSYOP, I know my audience knows, but if they can get you to hate yourself and they can get you to hate America like they've done to the left, then they can destroy you. At least Republicans want to keep the country afloat. We can't always figure out how to do it, and sometimes people get fooled, but at least Republicans want to keep the country afloat. What left-wingers don't understand, which I think explaining it to them like this helps a little more than just like yelling at them in the street, but whatever. You know, I think what people need to understand is like they're not making you hate America to save it for other races and stuff. They're bashing down your self-confidence and your self-love for America. So then when they take everything good that you've always had, you don't even care. That's what a lot of left-wingers said. It's like you can have a Native American show up with a bow and arrow to their house and be like, I'm, you know, Chief Longfoot. I'm here to take back my land. And most liberals would be like, okay, I mean, I don't deserve it anyway. You know, it's like they're brainwashing them to just take all their stuff, take their money, take their freedom, take their stuff. And liberals will be fine with it because they've been psychologically just demoralized to the point where they don't even like themselves. They don't care about the country. They don't care about their own safety. Like, it's not even a left-wing, right-wing issue, or it shouldn't be. Like, let's look at New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, anywhere, every suburb, anywhere. It doesn't matter. Don't you want to be safe? Don't you want to be able to go to the park and not have your kid get like slapped with an axe in the face? Like, don't you want your kids and your family? I mean, the problem is too, a lot of people don't have kids, etc., so they don't think like that. But in general, don't you want to be safe? Don't you want to live in like a decent area? They don't care. Liberals don't care. They get mad when you clean up their city. They're like, I like the filth. I like the crime. No, you don't. You just hate yourself, so you think you like it because you don't love yourself enough. And when you love yourself, you realize no one wants to live in San Francisco. They just get you to hate yourself. When you hate yourself, they could turn your neighborhood into shit and you won't care. If you hate yourself, they could take your country and you won't care. If you hate yourself, they can ruin everything that was once nice and you won't care. So that's part of the left psyop. These people need to wake up because, yeah, with the right, but it's like, you know, at a certain point, with this many people just totally useless, It's not good. And then you get to the right wing, and, I understand, I'll level with people now. I understand that Trump did a lot of great things and brought a lot of good energy, right? He brought a lot of good rhetoric. I don't think he really lived up to a lot of it. Like, I won't take their money, but he did, but no one wants to talk about whatever. He did do a lot of stuff. He did bring a lot of good America energy. He did make people love the flag again. He did, even though I don't think he's the most like deep diving Christian, I think he made a lot of people Christian because just the energy he was bringing, brought a lot of people back to Christ. And, I'm forever grateful for the patriotism and all that stuff that Trump really did bring to the forefront. So, you can't discredit what he did because he did bring, like, Mitt Romney couldn't have done that. Jeb Bush couldn't have done that. Pretty much no one could have done it at the time that he did it. And he deserves full credit. Like, Trump really did culturally shift a lot of things in the right direction. But then it's like you get to the government and there's a difference between a speaker and a doer. I understand it's difficult, but it's like Jordan Peterson. It's like you might watch him speak about culture and he might be really good at it, but maybe he's not really good at being a politician. I don't know. He's never been one, but maybe he sucks at being a politician, where it's like the rhetoric was good, the energy was good, but in my opinion, the governing was not that good. Some people think it was. Whatever. With that being said, we are where we are. I don't talk about the flaws and the bad points because I'm trying to like harp on it. Like, oh, come on, dude, just let him get away with it. It's just a few small things. I ignored a lot of stuff for 3 years because I was like, he can't do everything. But 2020 wasn't just like a marginally bad year. It's not like, oh, just forget about that. It was everything. We lost our freedom. It imploded the economy. Before Biden got into office, they imploded the economy. And how they imploded the economy was going to make us suffer for the next 5 to 10 years, even if Biden didn't get in office. Like, Biden getting in office was the best thing that could have happened to Republicans, because now Republicans can pretend like they're not the ones that are responsible for the inflation when they're a huge chunk of it. Maybe not all of it, maybe not half of it, but Republicans are absolutely responsible for the inflation, and no one even knows that. I'm one of the only ones who will say it. Everybody else is lying. It's like, you can't just print $6 trillion in a year and expect there to be no inflation. Republicans did that. So I don't address these things because I'm trying to harp on the few bad things that Trump did. Vaccine socialism is terrible. Lockdowns are terrible. Printing money is terrible. And the thing with the Republicans is they're not going to stop doing it because no one even notices they do it. They just pass it left, pass it right. And that's why nothing ever changes. So I'm trying to just stand my ground, not to be a dick about it or not to be like, you did no good things, but that type of stuff is going to continue until the American people wake up. And part of waking up too is also realizing, like, locally, etc., some things are not going to be solved by that guy. In fact, most things aren't. It's debatable if he's even going to try to solve it. So, part of America getting better is everybody doing their part. And I get in trouble when I talk about black neighborhoods with high crime. And I'm going to use a white example that's perhaps less, I would say, controversial, just to show where my heart truly is with both groups. If I looked at white neighborhoods that were poor and people were dying of drugs and people were getting like super obese and like, the drug, like in a lot of poor white neighborhoods, there's a lot of people dying from opioids, heroin, fentanyl. Like, that's happening in white America. If I just sat here and said, oh, that's fine, that's just how white people are, would that make me look good? No, that would make me look like an asshole. I don't think people need to do that. So we need to not only inspire people politically, patriotically, we need to inspire people to get healthier. We need to inspire people to get off the drugs. We need to tell people in poor white neighborhoods, that's not who you are. That's not your identity. That's not your culture. And that's not who you're going to be. And it takes real men and real leaders and real cultural impactors to say, no, we're turning all this around. And it's the same. Someone said, I'm black and in a majority black neighborhood, that's high crime. Facts. But the point, I appreciate the message. The point that I'm trying to get to, when I say in black neighborhoods that are having issues too, when I say we need to fix it, I'm not being hateful. I think we could do better. It would be hateful if I just said, oh, that's just how it is. People are just going to kill each other and that's just cultural and that's normal. It's not normal and it's not good. And it's leaking out all over the country and nobody likes it. Everybody's going to pretend like they don't see it. Everyone sees it. It's not good. So the real message of not being hateful is like, we can do better. In these neighborhoods, you can do better. In these neighborhoods, you can do better. Me saying that crime is fine in these neighborhoods would be the same thing as me going to a rural white neighborhood and saying it's totally fine that you guys are dying of pills. That's just who you are. Does that sound really nice? No, that sounds like I'm an asshole. But nobody really cares. Everybody just wants vote. They want the black vote. They want the white vote. I'm a patriot. I'm down with the cause. It's like Biden, Trump, everybody panders to black and white in some way. They don't give a crap about the people there, though. They just want your votes. I actually care because I know that these problems are affecting everybody, not just in certain racial neighborhoods, and it spans from rich to poor. But this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Make America Great Again on a political thing is a fundraising scheme. Make America Great Again is a give me the power and I'll just go do my thing, but I'm not really going to fix a lot of these problems with Big Pharma. I'm not going to really fix a lot of these problems with the food industry. So it's not really making America great because in order for America to be great, people have to be better. We can't just get fat and watch the crime rate rise and be like, well, I'm just going to vote for this guy and he's not going to fix it. People got to step up. So, there needs to be some sort of message, and I'll deliver it if it's not anyone else, that we can do better because America is a net sum of the people here. And when we're slipping, the country slips. It's that simple. If people get their crap together, the more people who get their crap together, the more people who actually care. You know what I'm saying? When you get real men, real people in communities that are doing the right thing instead of the wrong thing, that's when things start to fix around. But there's not going to be like a politician who says a lot of these stuff because they're just trying to raise money, which is fine. They'll talk about opioids and you know what I'm saying? They'll do some racial pandering. But the truth is we could do better. And I think in general, there's a lot of drug use going on in this country. There's a lot of people dying. There's a lot of people that are obese. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of messed up stuff going on. And yeah, some of it is like people are victims to the government, but a lot of it is like, we also have a life and God gave us the ability to change. So we can't just sit here and just get bamboozled by the government and bamboozled by all the scams. There needs to be a message of like, no, we need to step it up as a country. Like if everybody gets better, if everybody gets a little more fit, or at least becomes a little more health conscious, or lays off the drugs that they're trying to pump into our country to kill us, then things will change. Like you go to a nice, I'll just, cause I haven't traveled that far, but I've been to Breckenridge, Colorado. It's very liberal and it's very gay. It just is. It's super liberal, but it's safe and it's clean and it's nice. Well, how is it clean and safe and nice if it's liberal and gay? I thought it was going to be like San Francisco. It's not. Maybe because it's really wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because it's right near a mountain, so it's hard for people to get there. But in general, it's like the neighborhood is nice, even though it's liberal, because it's a net sum of the people who live there. And a net sum of the people who live there are not committing crimes. They're not doing robberies. And they're not beating grandmas in the head with their fist. So it doesn't matter what the politics are because the net sum of that community is safe and clean. Yes, some of it has to do with wealth, but it's other factors also. So it's like, that's America. America's a net sum of the people here. It doesn't help when the government just lets everybody in illegally. Obviously, I'm not saying they're all bad people, but it's like at a certain point, it would be smart to like filter who's going into your country, not just like let anybody in. There's people coming from China getting arrested at the border, people coming from Haiti, South America. Like it's not just Mexico or people are coming from all over the world. They're finding hundreds of countries at the border. True story. But that's my final message. I'm not going to stay too long. I don't say this stuff to just bash Trump or say this. I just see it as a clown show. I see it as a distraction. I see it as a fundraising scheme. I see it as a left wing giving their meat base. I like helping him in the polls. Now people are saying drop out, do this. To me, I'm not saying they're not charging him, but we'll see if it sticks. It's just a narrative that drags out. It's like, here's a narrative that just won't go away. It doesn't mean it's not completely true. It's just part of the thing. Like when Trump talked about the election from November to January, what was the finale of all that? The finale was Trump supporters getting arrested. The finale was people who believed in QAnon going to jail. The finale was Biden administration now using that event to weaponize against everybody who likes Trump and who's conservative and libertarian. So that was like a 3-month bonanza that ended in the arrest of Trump supporters. That's not good. That's not what you want. It's not ideal. I'm not saying it could have went either way, but you get what I'm saying. With that being said, then the election was talked about for 3 years. I'm not saying the election's not to be talked about, but now that's what you're talking about. You're not talking about Republicans and what they're doing. You're talking about an event where two people go up and then they do 90% of the same stuff for the most part anyway. There, just like people say the election was stolen, I could say every election was stolen because the lobbyists are controlling both parties. So if Trump bows down to the pharmacy lobby, just like Joe Biden, aren't they stealing the election no matter who wins? Why should I complain about this election when they've been getting stolen from 20 years by lobbyists? Because the same people are buying off both parties. And there's the same intelligence communities, whether Trump wins or not, that, everybody calls the deep state. So it's like, isn't that also how our country's being stolen? No, we're not going to talk about that because we're going to talk about this. Okay, I'm not saying it's not a valid thing to talk about, but now it controls the entire conversation. Nobody's talking about March to November 2020. All right, now there's the arrest. Is it real? I mean, it seems like he's getting charged officially. Is it going to stick? Probably not. Are they going to take his mugshot? They say no. Are they going to put him in handcuffs? No. So what is it doing? Outside of my opinion and your opinion of how corrupt it is, what's it doing? Left-wing media making a lot of money this week. Right-wing media making a lot of money this week. Donald Trump raising more money in 4 or 5 days than he has since he's been out of office. Fact, his campaign is bragging about it. They love it. They're so happy. He's rising in the polls. That's a good thing. He has a narrative against DeSantis now that wouldn't have worked 3 weeks ago. That's a good thing. His top advisors and ops are saying that, or whoever, his fans are saying that everyone should drop out and get out of his way. So I just see all this sort of stuff where it's like, it just seems like a clown show to me. I'm not really that interested in it besides just making fun of it. I'll stand with Donald Trump, but who cares? There'll be people who will be they'll judge me for not posting a stand with Trump square. It's the same thing as the BLM thing. I posted a square. Is racism gone or white cops? It's like, it doesn't mean anything. I could act like I'm so special if you want and be like, oh, me saying something on Twitter really matters. It doesn't. Me posting a stand with Trump thing, people will be like, oh, if you don't stand with Trump now, you're a phony. Want me to stand up? Here. I'm standing. Ready? I'm standing for Trump right now. Did anything change? Is he not getting arrested? Oh, it didn't change. Maybe that's because standing with Trump doesn't actually do anything. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree. I think they're overreaching, but I just see it different now. They're overreaching, but Republicans couldn't underreach. Did Republicans have to overreach for Hillary Clinton? Was that that wasn't even an overreach. She's done so much stuff, it's hard to even count. How come they didn't try? Because they're not even trying. You get what I'm saying? If you're believing in a group of people that doesn't give a crap about you, it doesn't matter. Trump, they're reaching. This is a stretch. With Hillary, they had a book full of stuff that they could have looked into. And then people are chanting, lock her up, lock her up. Go find that video, lock her up. And Trump is like, no. No, guys, I was just saying that to get elected. I'm not actually trying to do it. So it's like, to me, that's a more interesting angle. It's like Republicans were in office for 4 years and they don't even charge people for things they actually did. And then they lose office and then they get charged on something that doesn't matter and they fundraise off it. It's like either they're completely useless by a mistake to some extent, or they're just in on it. Either way, why would I care about someone who doesn't care that much? It's just so stupid to me. And with the country, I'm not giving up on the country, regardless of what they do to Trump. I mean, I think it'll be nothing, but I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on the country. I want people to move in the right direction, and hopefully, we can get people to act right all over the country, because whether he wins or not, people are still going to overdose on drugs. Whether he wins or not, the crime rate's still going to go up, and he's not going to really be able to fix it. You know what I'm saying? The solution is complex and not what people want to hear, but it's like whether that he could help save the currency possibly, or, make some trade deals with Saudi Arabia, I'd vote for him. I'm going to vote for him if he wins versus DeSantis, but I'm just not spending 2 years running in circles. And with my platform, I can't do that much, but try to inspire people and get people to level up, because we are a net sum of our country. And regardless who the president is, there's still going to be places that are safe, and there's still going to be places that are unsafe, and there's still going to be places that are clean, and there's still going to be places that are dirty in America. And each of those communities is a net sum of the people there, with the leadership, policing, etc., maybe mattering a little more because they have authority in some cases to clean up, etc., where it could change a little bit. But I don't know. I'm not getting that invested in it. Let me know what you think. God bless you. God bless your family. After this live stream, I will get on my knees and I will pray for Donald Trump for 20 minutes straight to let everybody know what a patriot I am. And then I'm going to hop on, Shopify and make some merch for it. Just kidding. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day. And I'll read some of the comments around. And to Sassy, whatever her name was, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings today. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Just a few ways to stay in touch and support if you'd like to. The first way is dreamrare.com. We have blue beanies, black beanies, pink hats, other colored hats, freedom versus tyranny shirts, stay blessed long sleeve, God is great long sleeve, and lots of more cool items coming soon. Dreamrare.com. Check out the shop to support. Everything's made in the United States. Handpicked by me. Patreon.com/raretalk. For $5 a month, you can help support me, support the show. If you haven't noticed, unlike other channels, I don't work with very many sponsors, sometimes none at all. And part of the way I'm able to do that is with the dreamrare.com shop and patreon.com/raretalk. So thank you guys for keeping this show free, unimpeded, uninterrupted. I'm forever grateful. My free email list is stayintouchwithme.com. So check the links below in the description, or just type in on any browser, stayintouchwithme.com, all one word. You'll find my email list, put it in there, and it's the least annoying email list you'll ever be on. I barely use it because I don't like getting emailed every day or every week. It's annoying, so I don't do it. Stayintouchwithme.com. It helps me take back some power away from big tech. Telegram, t.me/dreamrarechat or @dreamrarechat. Due to censorship, I post all my live stream and videos there. Sometimes I have some bonus content, and I try to give people a heads up when Facebook or YouTube won't. DreamRareChat at Telegram. My Instagram is @DreamRare. Thanks for everybody following there for shorter content. And DreamRareLinks.com, that's DreamRareLinks.com, has all my stuff. My podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, my music on Spotify and Apple, my Rumble page, my BitChute and Gab page. All my links are found at DreamRareLinks.com. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless you. You already know I'll be back with more content soon.